The text from my mother came through at 7:30 on a Tuesday evening, cold and matter-of-fact, the way all her messages to me always were. Flights are $1,000 each. If you cannot afford it, stay behind. I stared at my phone screen, feeling that familiar knot tighten in my chest. The family trip to Hawaii for my younger sister Emma's destination wedding. 3 weeks away. I already knew I was the afterthought, the one they expected to decline. I nodded to myself in my empty apartment, accepting my place as the family disappointment. Then my phone buzzed again. A credit card alert. 4 business class tickets purchased. $3,200 each. $12,800 total. I did not make this purchase. My hands shook as I opened my banking app, hit dispute all charges, and locked the account immediately. My heart pounded in my ears as I stared at the transaction details. 4 tickets, Portland to Honolulu, business class, purchased 7 minutes ago. I lived alone in my 1-bedroom apartment in Southeast Portland, sitting on my second-hand couch with my cat Pepper curled beside me. I was Blair, 28 years old, a second-grade teacher at Riverside Elementary School. I made $48,000 a year. I drove a 9-year-old Honda Civic. I clipped coupons and packed my lunch, and saved for months to afford my weekly pottery class at the community center. I did not have $12,800 to spend on plane tickets. I did not have $12,800 at all. My savings account held $3,200 that I had been building for 2 years. My checking account had $1,047 until my next paycheck. Someone had stolen my credit card information. My mind raced through the possibilities. Had I used it somewhere unsafe? Had I been hacked? I grabbed my wallet from my purse and pulled out my credit card. It was still there, the physical card, right where it should be. The banking app showed the charge was already pending. I took screenshots of everything, my hands still trembling. Then I called the fraud hotline number on the back of my card. The automated system picked up, and I pressed through the menu options until I reached a real person. This is Diana, with Card Services. How can I help you tonight? Someone just charged $12,800 to my card. 4 plane tickets. I did not make this purchase. I am so sorry to hear that, ma'am. Let me pull up your account. Can you verify your full name and the last 4 digits of your social security number? I provided the information. My voice steady even though panic fluttered in my stomach. I see you have already disputed the charges and locked your card. That was the right thing to do. We will start a fraud investigation immediately. Can you tell me if you recognize the merchant or have any idea who might have accessed your card information? No idea. The card has been in my wallet. I have not lost it or loaned it to anyone. Understood. We will send you a new card within 7 to 10 business days, and the disputed charges will not be your responsibility while we investigate. You should also file a police report if you believe this is identity theft. Okay, thank you. I hung up and sat in the silence of my apartment. Pepper stretched and meowed, wanting dinner. I fed her with mechanical movements, my brain trying to process what had just happened. $12,800. 4 tickets to Hawaii, business class. Then it hit me. 4 tickets. My parents, Emma, her fiancé Derek. The destination wedding. My mother's text had said the flights were $1,000 each. Economy. But someone had just purchased 4 business class tickets for over 3 times that amount, to the same destination, on the same dates. My phone was still in my hand when the pounding started on my apartment door. Aggressive, angry. I jumped, and Pepper darted under the bed. I walked to the door and looked through the peephole. My father stood there, his face red, his jaw clenched. My mother was right behind him. My stomach dropped. I knew. Somehow I already knew. I opened the door because I was conditioned to open the door when my parents knocked. 28 years of training do not disappear in a moment of clarity. My father, Roger, pushed past me before I could say a word. He was 58, tall and broad-shouldered, always wearing business casual even on weekends. Tonight he wore khaki slacks and a polo shirt, his thinning hair carefully combed over his balding spot. His face was purple with rage. "What the hell did you just do?" he shouted. My mother, Catherine, followed him inside. She was 56, carefully maintained blonde hair, expensive athleisure wear, the kind of woman who still introduced herself by mentioning she had been second runner-up in the Miss Oregon pageant in 1989. She looked at me with cold disappointment, the expression I knew best. "Dad, what are you talking about?" I closed the door, my voice quieter than I wanted it to be. "You locked your credit card. You disputed the charges. Do you have any idea what you just did?" The pieces fell into place with sickening clarity. "You used my credit card?" "For Emma's wedding gift," my mother said, as if this explained everything. "We were going to surprise her with business class tickets for all of us. Make it special. She deserves that, Blair. This is her wedding." I stared at them. "You stole my credit card information and spent $12,800 without asking me?" "Do not be dramatic," Roger snapped. "We did not steal anything. I have your card information from last year when you had that surgery, and I helped you pay your bills, remember? You gave me access to help you." I remembered. I had been 27, getting my appendix removed, loopy on pain medication, and my father had offered to help manage my bills while I recovered. I had given him my account information. I never thought he would keep it. I never imagined he would use it a year later without permission. "That does not give you the right to charge $12,000 to my card without asking me." "It is a loan," Catherine said, waving her hand dismissively. "You can pay it off slowly. What is the big deal? You make decent money as a teacher. If you stopped wasting it on those silly pottery classes and your little hobbies, you would have plenty. I make $48,000 a year. I cannot afford to pay off $12,000. "Then you should not have locked the card," Roger said. "Those tickets are going to be canceled now. Emma's surprise is ruined. Her wedding is in 3 weeks, Blair. 3 weeks. And you just destroyed the gift we had planned." My head spun. They were angry at me. They had committed credit card fraud, and they were angry at me for stopping it. "This is not legal. You cannot just use someone else's credit card." "We are your parents," Catherine said, her voice rising. "We raised you, we fed you, and clothed you, and put a roof over your head for 18 years. And this is how you repay us? By refusing to help with your sister's wedding?" "I did not refuse anything. You did not ask me. You just took." "Because we knew you would make it difficult," Roger said. "You always make everything difficult. Emma never does this. Emma is grateful. Emma appreciates what we do for her." There it was. The comparison. Emma, my younger sister, 25 years old, perfect in every way that I was not. Emma with her pharmaceutical sales job and her luxury apartment and her handsome fiancé Derek whose family had money. Emma who had always been the favorite, the beautiful one, the successful one. Emma who could do no wrong while I could do nothing right. Emma does not need me to go into debt for her wedding. "It is not about need," Catherine said. "It is about family. It is about showing up for the people you love. But you have never understood that, have you? You have always been selfish, Blair, ever since you were a child." The words hit like they always did, sharp and precisely aimed. Selfish, difficult, ungrateful, the labels I had carried my entire life. But something was different this time. Maybe it was the audacity of what they had done. Maybe it was the realization that this would never end, that they would always take and expect me to give without question. Maybe I was just tired. "I already disputed the charges," I said quietly. "The card is locked. The tickets will be canceled." Roger's face went from red to almost purple. "You are going to call them back right now and undo it." "No." The word came out stronger than I felt. My mother gasped like I had slapped her. "What did you say?" Roger stepped closer to me, using his height to intimidate the way he always had. "I said no. You committed fraud. You used my credit card without permission. That is illegal. The charges are disputed, and they are going to stay disputed. You ungrateful little. Roger started, but Catherine put her hand on his arm. Roger, let me handle this. She turned to me, tears suddenly appearing in her eyes. The performance tears, the ones she could summon whenever she needed sympathy. Blair, sweetheart, please. This is Emma's special day, her wedding. She has dreamed about this her whole life. Derek's family is so wealthy, and we just wanted to show them that we can provide too. That Emma comes from a good family. Please do not ruin this for her, for us. You ruined it by stealing from me. We are your family, she said, voice breaking. How can you call it stealing? Family helps family. Then you should have asked me to help. You should have given me a choice. We knew what you would say, Roger interjected. You always have an excuse, always too busy with your own life to care about family. We did what we had to do. I looked at my parents, really looked at them. My father, who had never hidden his disappointment that I became a teacher instead of something more prestigious. My mother, who had spent my entire childhood telling me I needed to lose weight, dress better, try harder, to be pretty like Emma. These people who had made me feel small and insufficient for as long as I could remember. I want you to leave, I said. We are not done talking about this, Roger said. Yes, we are. Get out of my apartment. Blair Elizabeth, if you do not fix this right now, there will be consequences, Catherine said. The tears gone, her voice hard. We will tell the whole family what you did. Everyone will know that you sabotaged Emma's wedding because you are jealous of her. I do not care what you tell them. Get out. Roger pointed his finger at me. You are going to regret this. When Emma finds out what you have done, when the whole family knows, you are going to wish you had never been born. You have always been a disappointment, Blair, but this is beyond anything even I expected from you. They left, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the pictures on my wall. I stood in my living room shaking, Pepper slowly emerging from under the bed to wind around my ankles. I had just gone to war with my family, and I knew, with absolute certainty, it was only the beginning. Within an hour, my phone started vibrating continuously. The family group chat, the one with 17 members including aunts, uncles, cousins, and my grandmother. I watched the messages roll in, each one a new knife. Emma, I cannot believe you canceled our tickets, Blair. How could you do this to me? To us? This is my wedding. Aunt Linda, what is going on? Emma is hysterical. Blair, what did you do? Uncle Frank, somebody better explain what is happening right now. My mother had clearly already called everyone, spinning the story her way. I scrolled through the messages, watching the narrative build. Blair refused to help with the wedding. Blair canceled tickets out of spite. Blair has always been jealous of Emma. Cousin Sarah. This is so messed up, Blair. It's Emma's special day, and you can't even be happy for her? Cousin Marcus. Family is supposed to support each other. Disappointed in you, cuz. The messages kept coming. No one asked my side. No one questioned why I would cancel tickets, or how those tickets got purchased in the first place. They just accepted that I was the villain, because that fit the role I had always played in this family. My grandmother, Helen, who I had always thought loved me. I am ashamed of you, Blair. I raised your mother better than this, and I thought she raised you better too. Emma has always been nothing but sweet to you, and this is how you repay her kindness. I felt tears burning in my eyes. I started typing a response, trying to explain about the credit card fraud, but I stopped. What was the point? They had already decided. They always decided. Emma sent a voice message. I almost deleted it without listening, but some masochistic part of me pressed play. Her voice was high and sobbing. Blair, I do not understand why you hate me so much. I have always tried to be a good sister to you. I have always included you in everything, even when my friends said you were weird. And now you are ruining the most important day of my life because you are bitter that I am getting married and you are still alone. Mom and Dad were just trying to do something nice, and you had to make it all about you like you always do. I do not even want you at my wedding anymore. Just stay home. Stay in your sad little apartment with your sad little life and leave the rest of us alone. The message ended. I sat on my couch, Pepper in my lap, and let the tears fall. Sad little apartment, sad little life. The words echoed everything I had always feared about myself, everything my family had always implied, that I was not enough, that I would never be enough. The group chat continued. More relatives piling on, more messages about how selfish I was, how I could not stand to see Emma happy, how I had always been the problem child. Then my phone rang. A Seattle area code. My brother Jason. I had not talked to Jason in months. He was 24, worked at some tech startup, and usually stayed out of family drama. I almost did not answer. Hello? Blair. I just saw the group chat. His voice was tight, controlled. Tell me what actually happened. Something in his tone made me break. I told him everything. The text from Mom, the credit card alert, the charges, Dad and Mom showing up at my apartment, the fraud, all of it. Jason was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "They did the same thing to me." What? 2 years ago. Mom took out a credit card in my name, maxed it out, told me it was for Emma's college graduation party, and if I did not pay it off, it would ruin my credit. I paid it, all $7,300. Took me a year. I never told anyone because I was so ashamed that I let it happen. I could not breathe. Jason, that is identity theft. I know, but they are family, right? That is what Mom kept saying. Family does not press charges against family. Family handles things privately. So I paid it and pretended it never happened. He paused. I have been in therapy for 6 months, trying to deal with how much I resent them. My therapist keeps telling me I need to set boundaries, but I did not know how. When I saw what they did to you, Blair, you cannot back down. Do not let them guilt you into fixing this. The whole family thinks I am the villain. The whole family does not know the truth. And here is something else you should know. Jason's voice dropped. Derek's family is paying for the entire wedding. Everything. The venue, the food, the flowers, all of it. His parents are loaded, and they wanted to give Emma and Derek a dream wedding as their gift. The tickets to Hawaii were never necessary. Mom and Dad just wanted to show up in business class to impress Derek's family, to look like they have money they do not have. The information settled over me like ice water. It was never about Emma's special day. It was about appearances, about my parents' egos, about impressing people. How do you know this? Emma told me last month. She was bragging about how Derek's family was covering everything. She said Mom and Dad were stressed about looking poor in comparison. So, they committed fraud against me to buy business class tickets they did not need for a wedding that is already paid for. Yes, I laughed. A bitter sound. That is so perfectly them. Blair, listen to me. I am on your side. Whatever you need, I am here. And I am going to post in that group chat right now and tell them the truth. Jason, you do not have to. Yes, I do. I should have done it 2 years ago when they stole from me. I am not staying quiet anymore. He hung up. 30 seconds later, a new message appeared in the group chat. Jason, everyone needs to stop attacking Blair. Mom and Dad used her credit card without permission to charge $12,800. That is called fraud. It is illegal. Blair had every right to dispute the charges. And before anyone says she is being dramatic, Mom did the same thing to me 2 years ago. Took out a card in my name and stuck me with the bill. This family has a serious problem with boundaries and financial manipulation. The chat went silent. For almost 5 minutes, no new messages appeared. Then all hell broke loose. Aunt Linda. Is this true, Catherine? Uncle Frank. Roger, you better call me right now. Cousin Sarah. Wait, what? They stole from Jason too? Emma, Jason, you are a liar. Mom and Dad would never do that. Jason, check with Blair. She has the receipts. $12,800 charged to her card today. 4 business class tickets to Hawaii. She did not make that purchase. My mother finally responded. This is a private family matter that is being blown out of proportion. Roger and I were helping with the wedding and there was a miscommunication. We are handling it. Jason, a miscommunication? You stole Blair's credit card information and charged thousands of dollars without asking her. That is not a miscommunication. That is a crime. I watched the messages multiply, the family splitting into factions, some defending my parents, some questioning them, some staying silent. Then my grandmother sent a private message directly to me. Blair, honey, I am sorry I said those things. I did not know the whole story. Your mother told me you refused to help with the wedding. I should have asked you first, before I said anything. It was not a full apology, but it was something. More than I expected. My phone rang again. Unknown number. I hesitated, then answered. Blair? This is Derek, Emma's fiancé. Can we meet? I need to talk to you. It is important. I went to work the next morning because I did not know what else to do. Riverside Elementary School was my sanctuary, the one place where I felt competent and valued. My second graders did not care about family drama or credit card fraud. They cared about story time and recess and who got to be line leader. I was helping a student named Mia with her math worksheet when the classroom phone rang. Mrs. Patterson, the school secretary, asked me to come to the principal's office during my lunch break. My stomach knotted. That was never a good sign. At 11:45, I walked down the hallway to Mrs. Hartley's office. She was 52, warm and professional, with silver hair and reading glasses on a chain. She had been principal at Riverside for 8 years, and I had always respected her. Blair, come in. Close the door, please. I sat in the chair across from her desk, my hands clenched in my lap. Mrs. Hartley folded her hands on her desk. I received a concerning phone call this morning from someone claiming to be your mother. She said you are experiencing a mental health crisis and suggested that you might not be safe to be around children right now. She recommended that we place you on administrative leave for everyone's safety. The room tilted. My mother had called my job, my career, the one thing in my life that I was good at, that I loved, and she had tried to sabotage it. Mrs. Hartley, she held up her hand. Blair, I want you to know that I do not believe your mother's claims. However, I am required to document this call and ask you directly if there is anything going on that I should be aware of. If you are struggling with anything, we have resources available. But I need to hear from you. The kindness in her voice broke something in me. I told her everything. The whole story spilled out. The credit card fraud, my parents showing up at my apartment, the family group chat, all of it. I did not cry while I talked. I was too numb for tears. Mrs. Hartley listened without interrupting. When I finished, she took off her glasses and rubbed her eyes. Blair, I am so sorry you are dealing with this. What your parents did is absolutely fraud, and you were right to dispute those charges. She paused. I am going to tell you something I do not share often. I came from a family very similar to what you are describing. Toxic dynamics, favoritism, emotional manipulation. 15 years ago, I went completely no contact with my parents and my siblings. It was the hardest decision I ever made, and also the best one. My life became so much more peaceful. I stared at her. Perfect professional Mrs. Hartley had cut off her family. I am not telling you what to do, she continued, but I am telling you that you deserve to be treated with respect, and if your family cannot do that, you have the right to protect yourself. As for the call from your mother, I am documenting it as a malicious attempt to interfere with your employment. It will have no impact on your position here. You are an excellent teacher, and this school is lucky to have you. Thank you, I whispered. Take the rest of the day off. Go home. Take care of yourself. I will cover your class. Come back tomorrow, ready to teach, and we will never speak of this again unless you need support. I left the school and drove to the coast without planning to. I just got in my car and headed west, following Highway 26 until I hit Cannon Beach. The November air was cold and sharp, the beach nearly empty. I walked for an hour, letting the wind and waves drown out the noise in my head. My phone rang. The unknown number from last night. Derek. I answered. Hello? Blair. Thank you for picking up. I know this is strange, but I really need to talk to you in person. Are you available to meet tonight? I can come to Portland. Why do you want to talk to me? He hesitated. Because I think you are the only person in your family who will be honest with me, and I need honest right now. Please. There was something in his voice. Desperation. Fear. I did not know Derek well. He was 27, worked in finance, came from money. He had always been polite to me at family gatherings, but distant, clearly more interested in Emma than in getting to know his future sister-in-law. Okay, there is a coffee shop on Hawthorne called Brew Brothers. I can meet you there at 7. Thank you. I will be there. I spent the rest of the afternoon at the beach, then drove back to Portland. I fed Pepper, changed into clean jeans and a sweater, and headed to the coffee shop. Derek was already there when I arrived. He sat in a corner booth, wearing a button-down shirt and looking deeply uncomfortable. He stood when he saw me. Blair, thank you for coming. We sat down. I ordered a tea, and Derek had coffee in front of him that looked untouched. What is this about? I asked. He rubbed his face. I did not know about the credit card thing, I swear. Emma mentioned this morning that you had canceled tickets and ruined a surprise, but she did not tell me how those tickets were purchased. When I pressed her, she finally admitted that your dad used your card information without asking. I was horrified. Okay, that is not all. He leaned forward. Blair, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be completely honest with me. Do you think Emma is marrying me for my money? The question hung in the air between us. I could have lied. I could have protected my sister, maintained family loyalty, but I was so tired of lying. I think Emma loves what you can provide, I said carefully. I do not know if that is the same as loving you. He closed his eyes. Over the past 6 months, things have been bothering me. Your mother asked me for money constantly. Last month it was $5,000 for wedding decorations that my parents already paid for. Emma keeps pressuring me to add her name to my trust fund before we get married. Your dad pitched me on some real estate investment scheme that sounded completely sketchy. I keep brushing it off, telling myself it is just wedding stress, but you are starting to see a pattern. Yes. He pulled out his phone and showed me text messages. Catherine asking for $3,000 for bridesmaid dress alterations. Emma sending links to houses in the $1 million range, asking which one Derek wanted to buy for them. Roger forwarding investment documents with notes about guaranteed returns. My family has been using you, I said quietly. I am sorry. Do not apologize for them. He put his phone away. Blair, I need advice. I have been thinking about postponing the wedding, going to couples counseling with Emma, making sure we are getting married for the right reasons. But every time I try to bring it up, she gets hysterical. She says if I loved her, I would not question anything. She says I am being influenced by my controlling parents. Am I crazy? You are not crazy. You are being cautious, and that is smart. Emma told me yesterday that if I postpone the wedding, she will never forgive me, that I will be humiliating her in front of everyone. But I just keep thinking about spending the rest of my life with someone who might only want my bank account. Before I could respond, the door to the coffee shop opened. Emma walked in. She saw us immediately. Her face went white, then red. She stormed over to our table. What the hell is this? She shouted. People in the coffee shop turned to stare. Derek stood up. Emma, calm down. Blair and I were just talking. Talking. You are meeting my sister behind my back? Blair, I knew you were jealous, but this is pathetic even for you. Are you trying to steal my fiancé now? Emma, that is not what this is, I said. Shut up. Just shut up. She turned to Derek, tears streaming down her face. Real ones, not the performance tears our mother used. How could you do this to me? Meeting with her? She has been trying to ruin our wedding from the start, and now you are taking her side? I am not taking sides. I wanted to understand what happened with the credit card situation. What is there to understand? Blair is selfish and refused to help with our wedding. End of story. That is not what happened, Derek said calmly. Your parents used Blair's credit card without permission. That is fraud, Emma. They were helping us. They were trying to make our wedding special by stealing $12,800 from your sister. It is not stealing when it is family. The coffee shop was completely silent now, everyone watching the scene unfold. I wanted to disappear into the floor. Derek's voice was steady. Emma, I think we need to postpone the wedding. Go to counseling. Make sure we are doing this for the right reasons. Emma's face contorted. You are breaking up with me? 3 weeks before our wedding? Because of her? She pointed at me. I am not breaking up with you. I am saying we need to slow down. What happened next occurred so fast I almost did not process it. Emma's hand flew up and slapped Derek across the face. The crack echoed through the quiet shop. Derek stumbled back, his hand going to his cheek. You owe me this wedding, Emma screamed. I have invested 3 years in you. 3 years of my life. You do not get to just walk away. I pulled out my phone and started recording. My hands shook, but I got the video. Emma screaming about how Derek owed her, how she had wasted her time, how he was ruining everything. Derek standing there, shocked, his cheek bright red. A barista came over. I am going to have to ask you all to leave. Emma grabbed her purse and ran out, still crying. Derek stood frozen. Are you okay? I asked. He touched his face. She has never hit me before. You should leave too. Go home. Process this. He looked at me, his eyes haunted. Thank you for being honest with me. I think you just saved me from making the biggest mistake of my life. He left. I sat back down, my tea cold. I looked at the video on my phone. Clear evidence of Emma's meltdown, her screaming about Derek owing her the wedding. I sent the video to Jason with a message. Things just got worse. His response came immediately. I am driving to Portland tomorrow. You should not be dealing with this alone. I went home, fed Pepper, and lay in bed staring at the ceiling. My phone buzzed with notifications. The family group chat was exploding again. Emma had posted that I was trying to steal Derek, that she had caught us together. My mother was demanding I explain myself. My father was calling me names I would not repeat. I turned off my phone and let the darkness swallow me. Jason arrived at my apartment the next afternoon with 2 bags of groceries and a determined expression. He was tall and lean, with dark hair and our father's eyes, but none of his cruelty. He hugged me at the door, and I almost cried. How are you holding up? He asked, unpacking food into my refrigerator. I feel like I am losing my mind. You are not. They are gaslighting you. This is what they do. He pulled out ingredients for pasta. I am making dinner, and we are going to talk strategy. While Jason cooked, I showed him the video of Emma slapping Derek. He watched it twice, his jaw tight. This is evidence, he said. Blair, what they are doing to you is not just toxic family drama. Dad committed actual fraud. Mom tried to get you fired from your job. Emma assaulted her fiancé and is now lying about you. This is serious. What am I supposed to do? Have you filed a police report yet? The credit card company said I should, but I have not. We are doing it tonight. After dinner, we drove to the Portland Police Bureau's East Precinct. I was terrified. Filing a police report against my own father felt enormous and irreversible. Jason held my hand in the waiting room. A detective named Officer Martinez called us back. She was in her 40s, with kind eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. She listened to my story, took notes, and asked detailed questions. "This happens more often than you would think," she said. "Family members stealing from each other financially. It is harder to prosecute because victims often feel guilty or pressured to drop charges. But what your father did is identity theft and credit card fraud. Those are serious crimes." "What happens now?" I asked. "I will file this report and forward it to the district attorney's office. They will decide whether to press charges. In the meantime, keep all documentation. Emails, texts, bank statements, everything. And do not let anyone pressure you into dropping this." We left the police station, and I felt strange. Lighter somehow, but also terrified. I had just reported my father to the police. There was no going back from this. 2 days later, my phone rang. Roger. I almost did not answer. But Jason was sitting next to me, and he nodded encouragement. "Hello?" "Blair, the police contacted me." My father's voice shook, not with rage this time, with fear. "They are investigating me for fraud." "You filed a police report against me? Your own father? You stole from me. I was helping with the wedding. This is insane. You are going to send me to jail over a misunderstanding?" "It was not a misunderstanding. You took my credit card information and charged $12,800 without my permission. I will pay you back. Every cent. Just drop the charges." My mother's voice came on the line. She must have been on speaker. "Blair, please, think about what you are doing. Roger could go to jail. He could have a criminal record. Think about our family. Think about Emma. I've been thinking about Emma my whole life. I've been thinking about what you want and what you need, and how to make you proud of me for 28 years. I am done." "We will pay you back immediately," Catherine said, her voice desperate now. "We will make this right. Just please, drop the report, please." I looked at Jason. He mouthed, "Conditions?" "I will consider dropping the criminal charges if you meet 3 conditions," I said. "Anything," Roger said. 1. You pay back the full $12,800 within 30 days. 2. You publicly apologize to me in the family group chat and admit to the fraud. 3. You agree to go to family therapy. Silence. Then Roger spoke. "Family therapy? Are you serious? Those are my conditions. Take them or leave them." More silence. Then Catherine, "We will do it. All of it. Just please, Blair, drop the charges. I will think about it. You have 30 days to pay me back. After that, we will talk." I hung up. Jason high-fived me. "That was perfect. You are getting your power back." "I do not feel powerful. I feel like I am going to throw up." "That is normal. You just set boundaries with people who have never respected boundaries before. It feels wrong because it is new. But Blair, you did the right thing." Over the next week, I waited for the other shoe to drop. My parents went silent. Emma went silent. The family group chat quieted down. I went to work, taught my students, came home to Pepper and Jason, who had taken time off to stay with me. Then, 1 week before the scheduled Hawaii wedding, my phone rang. Derek again. "Blair?" I called off the engagement. "Oh, I am sorry." "Do not be. You were right. I talked to Emma about everything, tried to have an honest conversation about my concerns, and she just kept deflecting and getting angry. I realized I was more afraid of going through with the wedding than I was of calling it off, so I ended it, privately, respectfully. I told her I was not ready, and we needed different things." "How did she take it?" "About as well as you would expect. She is furious. She is telling everyone I am cruel and heartless. But Blair, I need you to know something. My family lawyer looked into the situation with your parents. What they did to you is serious, and you would have grounds to sue them in civil court for fraud and emotional distress. But I do not want you to have to fight that battle." "What do you mean?" "I am sending you a check for $10,000. It is a gift, not a loan. My way of apologizing for being part of your family's dysfunction and thanking you for helping me see the truth before I made a huge mistake. Use it however you want. Pay off debt. Take a vacation. Invest it. Whatever brings you peace. I could not speak. The check will arrive by certified mail in a few days. Take care of yourself, Blair. You deserve so much better than how they treat you. He hung up. I looked at Jason, who had heard the whole conversation. Your family is falling apart, he said. And you are about to be free. The family group chat exploded 3 days after Derek called off the wedding. Emma posted a long message about how Derek had abandoned her, humiliated her, and broken her heart. She blamed me for poisoning Derek against her, claimed I had always been jealous, and said I had finally succeeded in ruining her happiness. The responses were mixed. Some relatives offered sympathy to Emma. Others stayed silent. Uncle Frank posted a message asking if anyone else was concerned about the credit card fraud issue. Then Jason did something I did not expect. He posted the video I had taken of Emma slapping Derek and screaming about him owing her the wedding. He included screenshots of text messages from Catherine, asking Derek for money, and messages from Emma pressuring Derek to add her to his trust fund. Jason's message was simple. This is who we are defending. Someone who physically assaulted her fiancé and views marriage as a financial transaction. Blair did not ruin Emma's wedding. Emma ruined it herself. The chat went silent for an hour. Then Aunt Linda. I had no idea it was this bad. Grandmother Helen. Catherine, we need to talk. This is not acceptable. Uncle Frank. Roger, I want that $20,000 you borrowed from me last year for that business deal that fell through. I am done being patient. The perfect family facade was cracking. Secrets were spilling out. Roger's failed business ventures. Catherine's habit of borrowing money and never paying it back. Emma's history of using men for money and gifts. My phone rang. My mother crying. Real tears this time. Blair, please. The whole family is turning against us. Please tell Jason to take those posts down. Please stop this. I did not post anything. Jason did. And he posted the truth. You are destroying this family. No, Mom. You destroyed it years ago. I am just refusing to keep pretending everything is fine. She hung up. 2 hours later, my bank account showed a deposit, $12,800, from Roger, the full amount paid back early. I stared at the number on my screen. I had never expected him to actually pay me back. The fact that he did meant he was truly scared. The police investigation was real. The consequences were real. I called Officer Martinez and told her about the repayment. She said it did not make the crime go away, but it would be a factor if the district attorney decided to press charges. She asked if I wanted to move forward or drop the complaint. I thought about it for 2 days. Jason said whatever I decided, he would support me. Mrs. Hartley said I should do what felt right for my peace of mind, not what made others comfortable. In the end, I decided to drop the criminal complaint. Not because my parents deserved forgiveness, but because I did not want to spend the next year going through a criminal trial. I wanted to move on. I wanted peace. But I did not tell my parents I had dropped it. I let them sit with the fear for a while longer. The certified letter from Derek arrived. Inside was a check for $10,000 and a handwritten note. Blair, you saved my life by being honest. I hope this helps you build the life you deserve, away from people who do not appreciate you. Thank you for your courage. Best wishes, Derek. I deposited the check. I now had $22,800 in my bank account. More money than I had ever had at one time in my life. Money that represented freedom. I called Jason. I want to open a pottery studio. What? I have always wanted to teach pottery. Not just take classes, but teach them. Create a community space. I have enough now for a down payment on a small studio space. Jason was quiet. Then, that is perfect. Do it. I started looking at rental spaces in Southeast Portland. Small studios, affordable but with potential. I found one in a converted warehouse, 600 square feet, with good light and plumbing already installed for a kiln. The landlord wanted first month, last month, and a security deposit. $3,600 total. I could afford it. I signed the lease 2 weeks after Emma's canceled wedding. The family group chat continued to deteriorate. Emma moved back in with my parents. Roger was being sued by Uncle Frank for the $20,000 loan. Catherine stopped posting altogether. Grandmother Helen sent me a private message. I am sorry I did not see what was happening sooner. You were always a good girl, Blair. I am proud of you for standing up for yourself. I blocked Emma and my parents on every platform. Phone, email, social media, everything. I told Jason I was going no contact indefinitely. He understood. He said he was considering the same. I threw myself into building the studio. I bought used pottery wheels, a kiln, shelves, tools. I painted the walls a soft cream color. I hung plants and art. I created a space that felt safe and welcoming. I named it Second Chances Studio. I posted about it on social media, offering classes for kids and adults. I set up a scholarship program for students who could not afford the fees, funded by Derek's gift. I wanted to create the kind of space I had always needed. A place where people could be messy and imperfect and still create something beautiful. The response was overwhelming. Within a week, I had 15 students signed up. Within a month, I had a waiting list. Mrs. Hartley signed up for a Saturday morning class. She said she had always wanted to try pottery. She became one of my favorite students, patient and focused, creating beautiful bowls and vases. I met a man named Gabriel who rented the studio space next to mine. He taught woodworking classes. He was 32, quiet and kind, with calloused hands and an easy smile. We started having coffee together between classes. Then dinner. Then we were dating, slowly and carefully. Both of us cautious about relationships but willing to try. My life was becoming something I had never imagined. Peaceful, fulfilling, mine. 3 months after I opened the studio, on a Saturday afternoon while I was teaching a children's class, I looked up and saw my mother standing outside the window, watching. My hands stilled on the pottery wheel. The child I was helping, a 7-year-old named Zoe, looked up at me. Miss Blair, are you okay? I am fine, sweetheart. Keep working on your bowl. You are doing great. I finished the class, cleaned up with the kids, and walked them out to their parents. Catherine was still there, standing by the curb, looking smaller than I remembered. She was wearing jeans and a plain sweater, her hair pulled back, no makeup. She looked older. After the last student left, I walked outside. What are you doing here? I wanted to see your studio. Jason posted pictures. It looks beautiful. How did you find the address? It is on your website. I crossed my arms. What do you want, Mom? Her eyes filled with tears. Can we talk? Please? Just for a few minutes? Every instinct told me to say no, to send her away, to protect the peace I had built. But some small part of me, the part that still remembered being a little girl who desperately wanted her mother's approval, agreed. 5 minutes. Outside. Not in my studio. We walked to a bench near the building. Catherine sat down, twisting her hands in her lap. Emma is living with us again, she started. She lost her job last month. She was so depressed after Derek ended things that she could not function at work, and they let her go. She stays in her room most days. She will not eat. She will not talk to anyone except to blame you for ruining her life. I said nothing. Your father is being sued by 3 different people. Business partners who say he defrauded them. Uncle Frank, a neighbor who loaned him money. Our savings are gone. We might have to sell the house. She looked at me. Everything is falling apart, Blair. Everything. I am sorry you are struggling. But I did not cause any of this. You and Dad and Emma caused it by lying and manipulating and using people. I know. Her voice broke. I know we did. I have been seeing a therapist. Your father refuses to go, but I have been going alone, trying to understand why I did the things I did, why I favored Emma, why I was so hard on you. Why were you? She wiped her eyes. Because you reminded me of myself, before I learned to perform, before I learned to be what men wanted. what society wanted. You were authentic and creative, and you did not care what people thought. I hated that about you, because I had killed that part of myself when I was young. I thought I was helping you by pushing you to be like Emma, but I was just hurting you. I am so sorry, Blair. I am so sorry for all of it. I felt tears on my own cheeks. You called my job and tried to get me fired. I was desperate and stupid. I thought if you lost your job, you would need us, and we could control the situation. It was cruel. I have never been more ashamed of anything in my life. We sat in silence. A car drove past. A bird sang in a nearby tree. The world kept turning. I am not ready to have a relationship with you, I said finally. I do not know if I ever will be. You hurt me for 28 years. You favored my sister. You made me feel worthless. And then when I finally stood up for myself, you tried to destroy me. That does not go away because you are in therapy now. I understand, but I am glad you are getting help. I hope you keep going. I hope you figure out why you did these things. Not for me, for yourself. Emma needs help too. Professional help. But she refuses. She insists that everyone else is the problem. That is not my responsibility to fix. I know. Catherine stood up. I should go. I just wanted you to know that I am proud of you. This studio, your life, the fact that you stood up to us. You are stronger than I ever was. You are who I wish I had been. She walked to her car and drove away. I sat on the bench for a long time, processing. The apology had not fixed anything. It did not erase the damage, but it was something, an acknowledgement, a small step toward truth. I went back inside the studio. Gabriel was in his workshop next door, sanding a table. He saw me through the window and waved. I waved back. My phone buzzed. Jason, how did it go with Mom? Me. It was okay. She apologized. I am still not ready for a relationship. Jason, that is fair. You do not owe her anything. Proud of you. I looked around my studio. The pottery wheels lined up, the shelves full of works in progress, the plants hanging in the windows, the sign I had painted, everyone is welcome here. This was mine. I had built it from the ruins of my family's betrayal. I had taken their fraud and their cruelty and transformed it into something beautiful. The next day was Sunday, and I did not have classes scheduled. I met Jason for brunch at a cafe in Northwest Portland. He looked tired, but happy. I handed in my resignation at the startup, he said. I am moving to Portland next month. I want to be closer to you. Build a relationship that is actually healthy. Jason, you do not have to. I want to. We are the survivors, Blair. We got out. We deserve to build something good together. We clinked our coffee mugs together. Two siblings who had been collateral damage in a toxic family, now choosing each other intentionally. That afternoon I got an email from Emma. The subject line, I hate you. I deleted it without reading it. A week later, Derek called. I heard your mom came to see you. Are you okay? I am okay. How did you hear about that? Your grandmother told my mother. They are friends from some charity board. Small world. He paused. I wanted you to know I started dating someone new. Her name is Andrea. She is a nurse. She has no idea who my family is, or how much money I have. We met at a coffee shop, and she asked me out. It is the most normal, healthy thing I have ever experienced. I am happy for you. I owe you for that, for helping me see what real love should not look like. How is your studio going? It is going great. I have 30 students now. I am hiring an assistant teacher. That is amazing. You should be proud. After we hung up, I realized I was proud. For the first time in my life, I was genuinely proud of myself. Not because I had achieved something someone else wanted, not because I had made anyone else happy, but because I had built a life that was mine. 6 months after I opened Second Chance's studio, I was teaching an evening class when I looked around at my students and felt overwhelming gratitude. There was Mrs. Hartley, carefully trimming the edges of a platter. Gabriel, who had joined the class to spend more time with me, laughing as his bowl went lopsided. 3 teenagers from the local high school who came on scholarship. A retired veteran working through PTSD with Clay. A young mother who came alone every Thursday, her only time away from her toddlers. This space had become exactly what I had hoped. A community, a refuge, a place where people could be imperfect and still create beauty. After class, Gabriel helped me clean up. We had been dating for 4 months now, taking things slow. He was patient and kind, never pushy, always respectful of my boundaries. He knew about my family, and he never tried to fix it or minimize what I had been through. He just listened. "I love watching you teach," he said, wiping down a table. "You light up. It is beautiful. I love this. I never thought I could have something like this. You deserve it. You built it." We locked up the studio and walked to his truck. He drove me home, kissed me goodnight at my door, and waited until I was inside before driving away. Pepper greeted me with her usual demands for dinner and attention. My phone showed a text from Jason. "Dinner tomorrow? I want you to meet someone." "Me? You are dating someone?" "Jason. Maybe. Her name is Clara. She's great. Low drama. Healthy family. It is weird and wonderful. Me? I would love to meet her." I fell asleep that night feeling content, feeling safe. The next evening, I met Jason and Clara at a Thai restaurant in Hawthorne. Clara was 26, a graphic designer, with bright red hair and an infectious laugh. She and Jason looked at each other the way people in healthy relationships do, with affection and respect and genuine joy. Over pad thai and curry, Clara asked about my studio. I told her about the classes, the scholarship program, the community I was building. She asked thoughtful questions, genuinely interested. When I mentioned my family situation briefly, she did not pry. She just said, "I am glad you got out. That takes courage." After dinner, walking to our cars, Jason hugged me tight. "We are doing okay, aren't we? We actually made it out." "We did. I am proud of us." "Me too." 3 weeks later, on a Saturday morning, I was opening the studio when I saw a familiar car pull up. My grandmother, Helen, 79 years old, moving slowly but determinedly. I met her at the door. "Grandma? What are you doing here?" "I came to sign up for a class, if you will have me." I stared at her. "You want to take pottery?" "I want to spend time with my granddaughter. The one I should have supported years ago. The one I should have believed when she said her parents were treating her badly." Her eyes were wet. "I am sorry, Blair. I am so sorry I took their side. I am sorry I said those awful things. You did not deserve any of it. I could have held the grudge. I could have turned her away. But I thought about what I had learned over these months, about forgiveness being for myself, not for the people who hurt me, about choosing peace over bitterness." Saturday mornings. Beginner class. Starts at 10. She smiled, relief washing over her face. "I will be here." She was. Every Saturday. For the next 3 months. She became one of my favorite students, her arthritic hands shaping clay into wobbly but heartfelt bowls and cups. We did not talk about the past much. We built something new instead. One year after I opened the studio, I hosted an anniversary party. Students, friends, neighbors, all gathered to celebrate. Jason came with Clara. Gabriel made a beautiful wooden sign for the studio entrance. Mrs. Hartley brought flowers. My grandmother brought a cake she had baked herself. I stood in the middle of my studio, surrounded by people who chose to be there, who supported me, who saw my worth. This was my family now, not blood, but choice. Uncle Frank came, surprisingly. He had distanced himself from Roger and Catherine after the lawsuit. He pulled me aside and handed me an envelope. "Your father paid me back last month. The full amount, plus interest. I wanted you to have this. $1,000. Invested in the studio. You are doing good work here, Blair. Real good." I hugged him, tears in my eyes. "Thank you." As the party wound down, I stepped outside for air. Gabriel joined me, wrapping his arm around my shoulders. "You did this," he said. "You took all that pain and turned it into something incredible. I had help. You had courage. That is harder." I leaned into him, watching the sun set over Portland. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me check. It was Emma. "I am sorry. I am not ready to talk yet. Maybe never. But I am in therapy now. Mom made me go. I am starting to see things differently. I do not expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know. I am trying to be better." I did not respond. Maybe I would someday. Maybe I would not. But I hoped she meant it. I hoped she found her own path to healing. I looked at Gabriel. "Do you believe people can really change?" "I believe some people can, if they want to badly enough, if they are willing to do the work. I think I am changing. I think I am becoming who I was supposed to be all along. You always were her. You just needed the space to grow." Inside the studio, laughter and music drifted out. My community, my people, my life. I had learned that sometimes the family you are born into is not the family you need. Sometimes you have to walk away from toxicity to find peace. Sometimes the people who are supposed to love you unconditionally are the ones who hurt you most, and walking away is not selfish. It is survival. I learned that my value was never determined by my parents' favoritism or my sister's success. I was always worthy. I was always enough. And the moment I believed that, everything changed. I learned that building a life on your own terms, surrounded by people who see your worth, is not plan B. It is the ultimate victory. Family is not always blood. Family is the people who show up, who celebrate you, who would never dream of using you. Family is choosing each other every day through honesty and respect and love. I learned that you can take the worst moments of your life and transform them into something beautiful, that pain can become purpose, that betrayal can become boundaries, that injustice can become advocacy. Standing outside my studio, watching the last light fade from the sky, I realized I had spent 28 years waiting for my family to see me, to value me, to choose me. And the greatest gift I ever gave myself was learning that I did not need them to. I could see myself. I could value myself. I could choose myself. And once I did that, I was free. Have you ever had to walk away from toxic family members to protect your peace? How did you find the courage to set boundaries with people you love? I would love to hear your story in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel for more real-life stories about courage and healing, and sharing it with someone who might need to hear that they are not alone in their struggle. Thank you so much for listening to my journey. I hope you find the courage to choose yourself, to protect your peace, and to build the life you deserve. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are never alone.